Welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. And Aries, this is going to be a general reading for November 2024. And so if you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you. This is a channel that's still fairly young. It's going to be a year in December that I started. And if you have subscribed or you're coming back to my channel for a second, third, fourth time, I want to welcome you as well. And thank you for coming back. So, in today's reading, we're going to be doing a reading called the Yellow Cardinal Cross. And it's a reading I've done before. It's one of my favorites, actually. There's just a lot that comes out of it. And so if you are interested in personal readings, this is actually one of the readings that I'm offering you, and there's about 6 or 7 of them, and I've left a link in the description box below and also in my comment section. So let's get started. I'm going to look at the areas that we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to start off with, in the middle, I'm going to pick a card that's going to, I'm going to deal a card that's going to be, going to talk about what issue you're dealing with, what situation, problem, struggle, could be a pattern that's showing up in your life. And then card number 2 is going to be a card to clarify it or tell me what's obscuring it, what's blocking it from happening in your life. And then I'm going to look in part 3, I'm going to look at the conscious influence on it. So I'm going to look at what you're aware of consciously and what's going on and how it's connected to how it's impacting the situation you're sitting in. And then the most important part really is number 4, because that's where I'm going to look at the unconscious influence. And so really I'm going to be looking at what's sitting in your shadow that's coming up for healing here, because whatever's sitting in your shadow that's coming up for healing, that is going to be impacting and driving this situation that you're sitting with. And, so we're going to be doing some shadow work in this part. And if you're not familiar with the term shadow or shadow work, I will leave you a really good video that I've done for you from my other channel called Carol Cares. And it is a video about facing your own shadow. And it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. And that is linked in my description box below. And so once we've determined what's coming up for healing for you that's sitting in your unconscious, right? Your unconscious represents, all those things as a child or teenager that you experienced that, it could be our trauma, it could be memories, it could be things about ourselves we've put away. It also could be gifts, actually, that are sitting there buried in your shadow, in your unconscious that you don't even know about, right? And we're just so afraid to go there because there's just a fear of the emotions that are attached to what's in there. So we're going to look at that. And then we're going to look at part number 5. We're going to look at what's the resolution that's needed for this. And I get some really good information from the tarot, for sure. And then 6, I'm going to get some guidance from the tarot, because remember that this is a journey. I'm not here to provide you with some miracle drug. You have all the answers in you. So I'm going to the tarot's going to give you some guidance as to how you can start, where you can start with this. Like what needs to be the focus here in order for you to start to heal this. All right. So, so far all the readings I've done have been, amazing. So I would suggest that you look at some of the other signs if you want some other guidance. Let's begin. I'm going to use the Ehrenberg Tarot right here. And I'm going to pull cards from that, and then I'll clarify everything with the Tarot Vintage. All right. I've pre-shuffled before I came on. And so let's ask the Tarot right now it's going to spit out either 1 or 2 cards for me for the issue and the clarifier or whatever's obscuring the issue. All right, so 1 to 2 cards here. Eight of Pentacles, and that one came sideways. Now I want to know 1 more card to clarify what's obscuring this. Woo! It's the first time that's hit me right here. The Nine of Swords. And that's in reverse. Nine of Swords in reverse. Interesting clarifier for that. All right. So, yeah, conscious influence now. One card, please. The Ten of Swords in reverse. Two sword cards. Yeah, two sword cards here already. Okay. Mental energy. Unconscious influence, please. Sitting in the shadow for Aries. Oh, wow. Okay. 3 cards here that came out, which is a lot to take, but they fall out, I have to take them. Not all the time, but this one I will. So, 4 Pentacles in reverse. Look at that one. Love that image, actually, for the 4 Pentacles. The Magician card. This one. Yeah, what am I thinking? Knight of Cups. What was it? Sometimes I'm deep in thought about the cards, and then I lose track, and I have to focus on what I'm, like when I was thinking about this one, I was like, okay, I was still thinking about this, and it's like, no, just get these cards out, and then you can start talking. All right, what's needed for resolution? I'm just gonna ignore those ones over there, and watching that one fall off the table. Okay, so you have the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands is what's needed for resolution. Yeah, I know what I wanted to say. I was going to say if you're a tarot reader, I just purchased this deck, and I was getting really excited for it to come, and it did finally come. And yeah, so the Ehrenberg Tarot, I really like it, by the way. It shuffles really nicely. And it's been working out for me really well today. And guidance from the tarot, please, for 1 card. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. All right, let's get some clarifiers out here. And I'm going to start off with the middle here. So if I can have some clarifiers for the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, or sideways actually. And the 9 of Swords. 1 or 2 cards, please. Okay, you have the Page of Wands in reverse. I'm going to leave that right here. And in this part right here, the 10 of Swords in reverse. Conscious influence here, a couple cards. Ooh. 4 Wands in reverse. And I think I'll take 1 more. Seven of Wands, 2 Wands, and up above, actually, yeah, just wondering if I need a clarifier here. No, I'll just leave it, and then maybe when I'm talking about it, if I need one, I'll pull one out. So, what's needed for resolution? Sometimes I ask for a clarifier and it gives me like 3 cards, then I'm really stuck, and it makes Yeah, so I'll just leave it for now. I think it's best to leave it alone. Three of Wands and one more. Star card. That was also kind of sideways there, so I'll put it sideways. And then the Ace of Pentacles. Guidance from the Tarot. A couple cards, please. Okay. King of Wands in reverse. And that came, oh, flying out here, which is the Knight of Cups. And I'm going to put those together for a reason. And then one more here. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, we are going to start off with Aries. This card right here underneath my little yellow cardinal, it is the Justice card in reverse. Now, in January 2024, I did a yearly reading for you, and I pulled out 12 cards, one for each month. And I pulled out the Justice card in reverse for you for November. And so this is going to be your overriding energy for this reading, and I'll be referring back to it during the reading. And so what does the Justice mean in an upright position? Justice, when the card comes out, I will say to you that you need to pay attention to this. You need to pay attention to this because there is something here that you need to see. So it's like the universe here wants to give you some clarity on something. It's like something happened for a reason, whether it's something happened in your life or, you know, I mean, this is a healing journey, so it could be something like that. I have a very itchy back, so I apologize for having to itch this. It is really bothering me. Yeah, so it's something that needs clarity, that wants to be shown to you. The universe wants to show something, but it's in reverse here. And so I'm going to say that it's something that you have not, there's been a resistance on your part to looking at. You have not wanted to look at it. You've not wanted to understand the situation. Yeah, because maybe, you know, maybe there's some pain that's connected to it and you just don't want to go there. I don't know. Like, you know, so it's like, there's something here and we need to pay attention to this. So there's something that you need to see. Okay. And oftentimes, sometimes it's like we can look at it and go, oh, that's why it happened, you know? And so the universe is wanting to show you that. So let's see what that is, Aries. And we're going to start off with the Eight of Pentacles, and interesting card to start off with. It's sideways here. So we're going to look at, we're going to look at what it means in an upright position. The Eight of Pentacles is a card where you are doing, like, the pentacle is all about, can be about your body, it can be about your health, it can be about your workspace, can be about your self-worth. And in this case, I think it refers to your job, and a job that, you know, whether it's your job right now that you're doing, sometimes, and this means like having a job that you're very passionate about, and a job that's you're meant to do, and you feel like it was kind of like your calling, came in sideways here. So to me, I'm thinking, you know, are you kind of starting to think now, this job that you've been in for a long time, maybe you've been doing it for all your life, are you starting to kind of go, I thought this is what I was meant to do all my life. And now there's something going on where you're kind of questioning it, right? So it's sideways here. Maybe you're losing passion, maybe you're losing interest, and it's not having the same oomph that it used to have. And there's something, and it's interesting because remember I said there's something here that needs clarity, and there's an issue here that needs clarity. And the 9 of Swords in reverse is coming to clarify this right here, this job thing that's going on. And the 9 of Swords is that individual that's up at night and having all these nightmares and can't sleep at night. So I'm thinking that this is you in relation to what's these nudges or this whatever it is that's causing you to question your current job situation. And even maybe if you're retired like myself, maybe there's something out there that's calling you, another passion that's not even related to what you used to do. I was never a tarot reader. I never even knew what tarot was. I don't know, until about maybe 2019, maybe 2018, 19. I discovered what it was. I didn't even know what it was. And so this 9 of Swords talks about I'm going to say to you, because I've been on this healing journey myself, intensively doing, my own shadow work with a trauma coach for the last 7.5 years. And when you are being woken through the night and you can't fall asleep at night and your head's spinning, that is a sign that there's something coming up for you to heal. Whether it's emotions that are coming up, whether it's a memory that's coming up. And it makes a lot of sense here because I'm seeing here because you're in this, questioning your job, and then this 9 of Pentacles comes in reverse, and it's in reverse here because you're not even considering it. Like you don't even know that this is about a memory coming up, or you're probably one of those people that go around and go, I'm having so much trouble sleeping, I can't go to bed at night, my head's spinning, can't shut off my head. And believe me, whenever I hear that, it's just like, I want to say to people, it's like, well, there's something that's coming up for you. And when I can't fall asleep at night, and when I'm being woken up all the time, I know it's something that's coming up. And my ego is what is trying to block it from coming up. So you have this next card right here, which is very interesting. It's a Page of Wands in reverse, and it's blocked. And the pages in my deck, there are 4 of them in this deck, and they represent my inner children, your inner children. Now, mainstream psychology likes to say, well, we just have one inner child, but I've been on this journey long enough to know that I have more than one inner child. And our inner children are the parts of us that will hold these big emotions, that will hold our memories. And they'll tell us things. Like I literally journal. That's one of my main tools. That and grounding are the 2 tools that I use to get at what my memories are and what emotions they hold. I have complex trauma and complex PTSD, if you want to call it. And I didn't know I had it. And that's one of the reasons why I got into therapy, was just because, it's a bit of a long story, but part of the reason was because, I was getting these sort of nudges all the time, or things were coming up for me. I was having sleep issues. And so, that things like that were the things that got me into therapy. And finally I got to where I needed to get. But the Page of Wands, when they come up, they need healing. There are inner children that need healing. And I'm seeing here that there is an inner child here that's wanting you to listen to them. That's wanting you to hear them. And like I said, I get to them through my journaling. I talk to them. So we're going to see more about journaling is coming up, because you need this little inner child, because it came out right here. It's at the center of the attention. It's like, I need healing. And it's got the wand there, which is fascinating, because here you are right here questioning your job, questioning your, new focus in life, if you want. And then you get this little child inside of yours that 4, 5, 6 years old. This is how old a page is. And they're with the wand. And the wand is the all about our creativity, our purpose, the direction we're supposed to go in, your next step. And it has it. It has it for you. It knew. Believe it or not, we knew when we were younger what we came here to do, who we were supposed to be. And because of, being shut down from people around us, and oftentimes we end up showing our gifts that we've brought to this world, and we can get shut down. And so they end up, hiding in our unconscious, those things that we've pushed away. And so, there's something here you need to see. There's this little inner child of yours knows your direction that you're supposed to go into, and you're here questioning your job right now. So it's like, So, in this, it's fascinating already. In this section over here, your conscious influence, let's see what you're aware of. Well, you've come to an end of a cycle here. This is the 10 of Wands. And let's go into, 10 of Swords. I mix them up, but I know what I'm talking about. I have the picture in my head, and I'll talk about the picture, but I'll call it either like the wand or the sword. I always mix up, which I thought I was done with that, but apparently I'm not, because I just said it again. So the 10 of Swords, so let's talk about swords, because, here you are being woken up at night by all these mental thoughts. So swords are our mental energy. Those are the thoughts that we spin on all the time in our head, things that people told us about ourselves, our belief systems, what we've picked up over the years. Little kids are sponges. You tell them they have a tail growing on the back of them, and they get told that enough times that they're going to believe that they have a tail, and they're going to keep on looking back there to see if they can, find their tail that you've told them they had. And so you've come at an end of a cycle here, because this is a number 10. So it's kind of the end of a cycle here, which tells me that, these swords have really done you in. Like, I think you're realizing that, because this is the conscious influence, that, my head, I've spun so much around this. I've been spinning so much. And if you really are someone that's having difficulties with their sleep, if you don't get enough sleep, your brain cannot function. It just can't. And it's in reverse here. And so I think here that maybe it could be that you're starting to realize that, like, this cycle is sort of, realizing that, how much it's done you in. Or maybe there's a resistance to seeing that, and how much these, these mental thoughts about yourself that has done you in. But you're left with wand cards for this conscious influence, which is interesting, because the wands are coming out here. And like I said, the wands talk about, you have that page of wands here, and that's that direction. I also see the 10 of wands over here. You have the 3 of wands here. And you have the King of Wands right here. So there's a significant amount of wands here. And so we're talking, like I said, about this direction that's coming up for you. There's something here that's coming up. And we're going to start off with the 4 of Wands, which is in reverse here. And the 4 of Wands talks about, it's often called the marriage card, celebration card maybe, in an upright position. Wands aren't meant, the 4 is a real solid and stable number. And, wands are not meant to be planted in the ground. They want to be free. They want to go. And that's why in the wand suit, you'll see often a lot of conflict. because they are the suit that wants the freedom to go, and do what they want to do here. And so here you have two individuals, two different colors, blue and it looks like orangey. It's kind of like an orangey pink kind of color. And they're walking, that's important, I said that, I'll tell you why in a minute, but they're walking away from this walled city behind them. It's like a city that they've kind of been trapped in, and they're starting to finally get free, walk away from that. And I think this relates to your life in that, I think you're ready. You're ready to walk away here, to take your life in this new direction. And it's in reverse here, so there's a lot of, it's blocked, and there's a resistance to doing it. But it's very interesting. I want you to look at the two characters again that are walking away here. They're two different colors. We have two sides of us. We have a feminine side, and we have a masculine side. The blue and the pink colors here has nothing to do with gender. I'm not going to talk to you about you going to get married or something like that, something silly like that. But I will tell you that you have two sides of you, has nothing to do with gender, and a lot of us don't realize, and because the feminine side of us has been repressed for a long time. And the feminine side has a lot to do with authenticity. Here's the sword and the balance here of getting back to the truth, getting back to your truth of something you need to see. And so I think you need to recognize here that, because it's going to come into play here, where you have this feminine side and this masculine side. Our masculine side is the ego. And that's the one that will keep you in your head, you see, because here's all the swords being kept up in your head. Here's you right here with the 9 of Swords being kept up at night with all these thoughts in your head. So there's very much a part of this reading where you've been kept up in your head and you've forgotten. That's our masculine side. You've forgotten about this body that you have, which is your feminine side of going inwards and, getting in touch with our creativity, our authenticity. And when I say creativity, I mean like being able to take your life into that direction you want to go into, doing something that you've never done before for your, people are going to look at you and go like, what the hell, are you crazy? Like, she's never done that. He's never done that. They've never done that. Like, what, and so, and also getting in touch with intuition and getting into our body and grounding and getting in touch with our emotions. You have a page here that needs healing. And it's a page of wands. And so this card is in reverse. There is here, I think, a part of you I feel like there's a part of you that is deciding to like get on this healing journey, to commit yourself to this healing journey, because you've turned these wands upside down, which is, like I said, the male part of us, our ego self, and being up in our heads all the time. I can see here that you're wanting to finally break free, and this is you breaking free. And oftentimes, I love this card because I feel like it represents, like I can see a lot of myself in here. When I decided to go on my own healing journey and find out my truth, because there's something here you need to see. I had people here that didn't validate me, that didn't want to support me, that couldn't support me, because that meant they would have to look at their own stuff, and they weren't willing to. And they wanted to really bring me down and, come down. And so this journey can be a very lonely journey at times. And so you may be experiencing a lot of loneliness right now. You know, a part of you is I feel like this whole, I mean, I haven't even really got into the reading that much, but I feel like there's just a lot going on with you right now, as far as like some heavy stuff, you know, where you're questioning some things, and things are stirring inside of you, and here you are wanting to figure this stuff out. And oftentimes when we're trying to figure out things, we go to our closest people, which are the people our family, and we talk to them about stuff, and you know, we start to throw ideas at them and ask them questions, and and that's when we're going to realize that they aren't very comfortable with it. Some people are not comfortable with it. And especially if they're the ones that sort of, you know, were the ones around that kind of, you know, would have planted some of these things that you're trying to get to the answers to, right? So you may be feeling quite lonely right now, and I see that you're on this journey right now. You know, it's a lonely journey, this journey of wanting to find your truth. And yeah, so that's what's going on with you right now. Now let's look at what the unconscious, what's coming up with from your shadow right here, that's kind of causing this stir right here of you thinking about your job and your direction and being up at night, and then this healing, this inner child needs healing. A lot of questions here unanswered, which is very interesting because of the Justice card. So in your shadow, you have the Four of Pentacles. And remember, the shadow's about your childhood, and it's about your teenage years, and these are the things that need healing, that are impacting the situation right now. It's like the universe is saying, you know, trying to get you to wake up, but you got to look at here what's coming up for healing. Four of Pentacles is about it's called the Attachment card, and it's usually like a miser card of holding on to his stuff, holding on to all his stuff, his material stuff. And look at how this individual in an upright position is very much attached, like a ball and chain here, attached to stuff, not wanting to let go. And I'm seeing here that when you were younger, there are some attachment issues. Maybe you were, you know, it could be, when I say there's attachment issues, it's just like people just were not there for you. People did not support you. People did not validate you. And I think a part of you gave up, right? Gave up because we need people to attach on to. We need healthy support systems when we're younger. And if we don't get them, we give up. And so there's that coming up in your shadow. And the Magician card comes right behind it. And the Magician is the card that speaks about the manifester. It's the master manifester. He can manifest anything, but it will be divinely guided by Creator, Source, Spirit, God, Universe, if he's grounded. If he's grounded. Because what comes in will be grounded. He'll act like a lightning rod, and it'll be grounded into the earth. And this Magician card tells me that you have everything inside of you. You have all of your answers right in the middle of the shadow. The Magician card says you have everything in you. All your answers are there. And so it really is a calling here to go inwards, because you right now are in a position here where you are questioning things. You're starting to really question is what I'm hearing. And I can't give you the answers, but I can tell you that your shadow has all your answers. And if people only knew, like I can't even tell you on a personal level, like people get really fascinated about the outside world and what's out there. And I know what's out. I know, I'm well aware of all the things that are happening. And but I can tell you without, anyway, I don't know if I said this probably once before on another reading, but your inner world, our inner world, is like a zillion times more fascinating than this outside world. If people only knew that, but I can say it, but unless you've really gone through, a lot of healing and gone inwards and started to really see how, like how your outside world is a mirror of your inner world, and just the fact, and I'm saying that because I'm somebody that has complex trauma and I've had to work through but I have a trauma coach, like I've said, but it's just absolutely incredible, your inner world here. And so it's sitting here right in your shadow. It says you have all your answers to these questions, that this justice you're trying to get to. It's all here for you. It's sitting right in your shadow. And you end with the Knight of Cups here. And the Knight of Cups is what I call my freedom fighters. It's a teenage part of us. All of us has this part. It's the part that wants freedom. We all want freedom, but it wants to get freedom through being authentic. And it's got the cup in their hand here, and it wants that freedom to have authentic relationships, real relationships. And so behind everything, there is this possibility for you to have these authentic relationships that's sitting here. There's a freedom fighter that wants in your shadow, that wants you to have authentic relationships. Feel what it's like to have authentic relationships, because you didn't have them when you were younger. You didn't have that support that you had. You gave up. And so that's what's sitting in your shadow that wants to be healed. And so let's look at now what's sitting up here in what's needed for resolution here, because I'm still looking for some information. You have the Three of Wands here, and the Three of Wands talks about making a plan to take your life into a new direction. And I think you have it. I did say that, I feel that you're wanting to go on this journey. You're starting to really feel this pull, and you're making this plan. It's not a 2 where you're getting the nudge. It's a 3 where you have this plan. You're starting like this. This is what I want to do. I want some answers. I want some answers here, because I think here that, I get the 10 of Wands here, and the 10 of Wands speaks about the end of a cycle. This is your second 10 here. It's like you had these cycles here are coming to an end here, and this is like, you know what? I have all these burdens. Like I've been carrying all these burdens for so long now, and I want answers. I want to know what the frick all these burdens are that I've been carrying all this life. And that's, I think, what got me back into therapy was, you know what? I've been struggling. This would have been me before I got into therapy many, many, many times with different therapists. It was like, I need to figure out what this is. I'm done with, not getting sleep at night, or wondering about this and wondering about that. And so I need some, I'm done. I'm done with these burdens. It's the end of the cycle here. And I want to heal. That's the Star card. It was in reverse here. But it's like, I want to heal. It's time to heal now. That's the resolution. It's time for healing now. It's time for healing. And so, yeah, maybe it's just like, somehow your job is all intertwined with this, and wondering, maybe you need a change of jobs, or maybe, but I'm seeing here that you're deciding it's time for healing. And the guidance from the tarot here is you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Let's look at what the Ace of Pentacles is in an upright position. The Ace is a beautiful card to get. And it's an offer from the universe. It's a gift. And it says here's your body. Pentacle is the body. Here's the body. And the body in this... in order to get in touch with this little page that needs healing, we're not going to forget about our page, our inner child here. It's time for you to get back into your body. You want to heal? I feel like you want to heal. Here's a new offer for you to get back into your body. A new offer for you to learn how to ground. I'm going to leave a playlist on grounding for you. It's time for you to learn how to ground, because that's how you're going to get in touch with your inner child. I ground and I journal. And let's see if I can offer you something on journaling in a minute. But so first offer here is you're going to learn how to ground yourself. That's what the universe wants to get you to do, is to ground yourself, to learn how to get back into your body. Because I did talk about there's a lot of sword energies here, and it's time now for you. Let's get out of our head now. This isn't serving you anymore. Being up in your head, being in your ego self with these sword energies. We're gonna learn. We're gonna experience this other part of our body that we have. This part right here. You know, we're not just a head. We have a body. And then the king will come. The King of Wands comes in, which is very interesting, and it's attached with the Knight of Cups here. And interesting because you have the Knight of Cups right here sitting in your shadow, and it's come up here right here. So let's look at the Knight of Cups, because that's what that was our freedom fighter that wanted these authentic relationships. Who's the king in the deck? Well, we haven't had here's the queen. So you get a king and a queen coming out at the end. I talked about the marriage card over here, about that joining the feminine and the masculine side to you and discovering what that is. Well, the masculine and the feminine side to us is the masculine ego and the feminine body. So, and that's exactly what you're ending with right here. The king. So here you are. New offer to get into your body. You have the king coming out here. The king is the masculine side. It's our ego self. And the ego self is petrified of emotions. Does not want to touch them. It has convinced you that they will eat you alive. It's very much also a part of you that is very much status quo. If, you were even thinking about changing your job, taking your life in a new direction, doing something for yourself that's creative, that's doing something that you've never done before, your ego self will come out and go, no, are you crazy? Don't you dare. You're going to hear so many things coming out for you, and it's going to create a shit ton of anxiety in your system, because when I have a king and a knight right behind it, this says anxiety. So maybe you're somebody that really suffers from anxiety, which would explain the 9 of Swords here. This particular knight who's in your shadow is that part of you that wants authentic relationships. And so you've got this part of you right here that's pulling, that really wants you to go into this certain direction. I just have to take a drink. And then because they've been pulling all your life, trying to get this freedom, they can be full of hopelessness. They can be full of anger. And oftentimes when you are anxious and you're panicking and you're having these anxiety attacks, it is a huge amount of fear from this ego. And then you've got this other side of you that's this maybe anger that needs to come out, right? Because you've been fighting all your life to be you. You've been fighting all your life to see that there's something else maybe that you're meant to do. You knew deep down inside there was something that was pulling all the time to you to go into this direction. And if you're somebody that suffers from anxiety is just a block. It's a block from going where you need to go. And your ego self will come out and make you, will be part of this anxiety, right? And so it's really important, I think, that I'm going to give you a playlist on grounding, and I'm going to give you a playlist on anxiety, because I'm seeing here that, there's a big warning here, from the universe that's saying, your anxiety is going to come out. But a lot of us will try to avoid it try to avoid all these triggers. Like, you're going to be triggered. I'm going to say you're going to be triggered as fuck because you're trying to do something that you've never done for yourself before. And I'm feeling it. And there's so much stirring going on in your system right now. And it's going to be your ego self that's going to create all of this in your head and create this anxiety. But that's where the grounding is going to come in. That's where the grounding is going to come in so you can get to your truth. This isn't going to bring you zen. This is going to bring up some emotions that you need to deal with, like anger, because maybe there's some people you need to get angry with. You know, you can journal about your anger. This is going to bring up some hopelessness. But the Queen of Pentacles says, here's the feminine side. She's the feminine side. And when I said you need to ground, well, here she is right here. She's the one, and she has a pentacle. There's your body. She's the feminine part of us that lives from her body, that feels all her emotions, makes all her decisions. You know, here's your inner guidance here, the magician. All their decisions from inside. Here she is right here. What a beautiful way to end it. Wow. A lot going on here, Aries. I hope it resonated with you. Like I said, I'll leave you with a playlist on grounding and anxiety. I'll also leave you with some writing prompts on anxiety. I think I would recommend you start to journal. I have some really good journaling videos. And I'm sure under anxiety, there'll be how to journal from your anxiety. And because you have to remember there's a little page here that needs to heal. There's some emotions here that they need to feel and share with you. You know, like grief, maybe some anger, maybe some hopelessness. All right. So I want you to remember, Aries, that this is the most difficult journey of your life, but it's the most important one. The inner journey is the most important one. And I want you to take care of yourself and have compassion for what you're working through. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.